Hello, good afternoon, and ahoy there. As you can see, this week I'm outside the Sulabh Toilet Museum here in New Delhi. I've been meaning to come here for a little while, and I was just talking to the curator who came out and greeted me and said it was okay for me to film here because I like to check before I do. Neeraj, her name is, who does the most amazing job. And I'll be honest with you, I thought I was coming here to make a bit of an amusing video about a toilet museum, thinking, oh, that's a bit of fun, isn't it? Like you go travelling and you see odd and unusual museums and you think, oh, toilet, yeah, that's a funny subject, isn't it? And she just came out and was talking to me, and I thought maybe she'd be quite an eccentric, wacky individual. And she's so professional and so heartrendingly good at her job. There was actually, she told me quite a touching tale about the man that set this place up. He's a Nobel Prize winning man, Sulabh, who basically didn't like what he saw in India regarding the caste system and how people of the lowest of castes had the job of going around people's houses emptying the toilets, the pots, cleaning them out and taking them away. And he said, this isn't right. These people can do more than this. They can offer more. And if they're just seen by society as people that are worth no more than going around emptying toilets, they'll never progress. And so he started introducing better sanitation so that these people wouldn't have to do this. And they gravity-led toilets so that I'll show you one here. It's very simple. It's these sort of things here. So they're like it's a very, very basic design, and then they come down here into these pots, or wells I suppose you'd say, and they're all in a line here, ESP latrines. Now I know they are a very basic design, but it meant that some poor soul didn't have to go around people's houses emptying them and cleaning them out for them. And so societally, the people of the lower castes weren't seen as the lowest of the low, and were treated with a modicum more respect. Now I know there is still the caste system here, there's no denying that, it's being phased out, but it's still here, and people still are recognised as being of a higher and a lower caste. But it's just wonderful, isn't it, that somebody saw that, didn't like what he saw, and said, I'm going to do something about this. And I love that. I love that we can all do that, can't we? We can all sit around and see things we don't like. I do it and say, I don't like that, and moan about it. But what do I actually do about it? Nothing. I'd probably just come on here and moan to you about it, or to whatever poor sod has to listen to me. But that's someone who said, I don't like what I see. And then this place got open. This place has been open for years now. I mean, the lady that was talking to me, she's been here for, I think she said 12 years, maybe more. And I'll take us inside. And as I say, I thought it was just going to be a semi-amusing look at some toilets. And I didn't for a minute think there'd be this weight of societal guilt attached to it. And it's quite touching. It really is. And as usual, you go somewhere in India, they immediately offer you something to drink and hospitality, which is what she's just done, and it's absolutely lovely. So we're inside part of the museum here. There seems to be two main rooms and that bit outside. So they've said that I'm fine to film in here. This is a sculpture of I thought this would be a bit like the Cat Museum. Do you remember when we went to the Cat Museum in Kuching? I thought it'd be a bit like that, where we could have a bit of a laugh about it, but I feel a bit bad about thinking like that now. This toilet here is made from surgical scissors. And, I mean, you wouldn't want to use it. It looks like maybe something David Bowie would have in his house. It is a sculpture, I'd like to point out. And we've got some... Looks like this one here. fancy ornate looking one. That looks like it was done by the people who designed the post boxes in the UK, doesn't it? This one over here reminds me. A few years ago I bought a camper van off of a dodgy man in a field. I bought it on a bit of a whim. I was walking along and he said, "Do you want to buy a camper van?" So I bought it off of him and it had one of those in the back, like a Portaloo thing. When I picked it up, it had a suspicious sloshing going on inside. So I thought, oh God, turned up the whole thing was a disaster. The underneath of it was completely rotten. The van, not the toilet. So we had to get rid of it. Here's another very ornate toilet. Looks like something from the space age, doesn't it? Quite low as well. And this one reminds me of something you'd have seen in the 70s. It's not, it's much older than that. I think That's Life, the TV show, did a programme about a man selling toilets like this, if you remember. So this is the main hub of it, and then there's the electric toilet here, the Incinerlet, and over here I'm assuming this is like a satirical statue. So you've got like a wooden outhouse, as they'd have called them there, and at the top there's a little sign that says management, and there's a ladder going up there, and at the bottom there's a sign on the door that says employees. So I'm assuming someone's gone to the bother of making that as a statement about toxic workplaces, maybe. I didn't know what these were. I didn't like to ask. They look a bit vicious, don't they? And I'm hoping they're handles for a toilet door, not some kind of instrument to do with going to the toilet. But I think they will be handles for a latrine door or something. So I'll take you into the next bit next door. And this next part is called, I'll show you here, Toilet Tales. Toilet Tales. Let's go inside and have a look at some Toilet Tales. Now these are the fancy end of the market in here. It's not a very big museum, which is probably quite good for someone with an attention span like mine. I like this one. Now this is like something Liberace would have had, and it's very ornate, very fancy. And I like the name. The Deluge. That's quite a dramatic sounding toilet, isn't it? The Deluge. Here's a toilet that I think we could learn something from now. So it's not in the look so much, although I don't mind it. Looks like a nice flower pot, doesn't it? I've got a few flower pots like that. But this is the tipper closet. And what I like about it is, it's a waterless toilet. And it uses water from your kitchen sink. So when you've done your washing up in the kitchen, you do the washing up, the water from that goes into a tank, a grey tank, as they'd say on a ship, and then it feeds that. Now, why don't we do that in modern day toilets? Why don't they have something like that now instead of wasting water? I think it takes about 12 litres of water to flush a toilet, and that's clean drinking water. Whereas that could be the grey water from your washing up, or your bath or something. Off it goes. Much better idea. There's probably a reason they don't do that. Then we've got a great big, I mean that is a big toilet, isn't it? And it's got like a flushing, I'm still not very good at using this. It's got like a flushing bit here. Quite fancy, isn't it? Like something you'd have seen on the Antiques Roadshow. And here's its smaller cousin. Again with a flushing mechanism here. I'm assuming that goes to like a water bottle. It smells very woody in here. You can smell the, don't be snotty, you can smell the wood polish coming off of them. Then we've got toilets like this, the Invictus. Very satisfying looking toilet. And then this one, I looked at this and I thought, hang on a minute, That hole's never going to do the business, is it? Oh dear, I thought, that's a very early one, and then I saw it to B-Day. Then you've got this. Now this looks like something from Caractacus Pop's house, doesn't it? You can imagine it being like coal-powered, or Heath Robinson's place or something, with a very impressive... I like that. I like this sort of Wedgwood look to it. And then this one, very pretty. Be a shame to use it almost, wouldn't it? Very, very... It looks like something you'd serve food in. I really like that. Doesn't look particularly practical, but I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Then you've got ones like this. Very pretty indeed. Probably a bit of a nuisance to clean with all these little intricate bits. I wonder if that's made by Unitas. Everyone, you know what I'm wondering. Is there a Crapper? A Thomas Crapper toilet? And I've not seen one. Maybe they're hard to come by here. I went to someone's house once and they had a Crapper. And they couldn't wait to show it to me. As soon as I went in, I was like, oh, nice house. And they were like, yeah, nice, but wait till you see this toilet. And they took me upstairs, showed me the toilet, and it was an original Thomas Crapper. And I might be misremembering this, but I think that the system was one of those ones where you pull the chain on it, and I'm sure it was glass. It was like a glass system. Now, I might be going mad as I'm getting older, but I think he had goldfish in it. And unfortunately, I don't know anyone else who was there with me, but I'm sure there was goldfish in this system that as the water went down, the tank, the system didn't completely empty, and it was left with about that much at the bottom, enough for the fish to swim around, and then it would fill back up. But I did used to drink back then, so maybe I'd had a few to drink, and I was a bit drunk. But yeah, have you heard of that? Have you ever heard of it? Yeah, I'm sure. Then we've got some old bars of soap here. More from road, because obviously it's all about sanitation and toilets and how the changing face of it over the years. Lifebuoy. I love coal tar soap. Got borax soap. Don't spare the borax, as they say, if you're cleaning your house. But this is my favourite one. Have you got a dirty monkey? Madam, have you got a dirty monkey? Clean your dirty monkey with Monkey Brand soap. I love that. I really like that. Look at the artwork on it. That's great, isn't it? That monkey, a vain monkey, admiring himself in a mirror, going, "I am the cleanest of all the monkeys." He can go out on the pull. He'll be down the monkey pub later on, pulling monkey birds. So it's a great little museum. If you're in Delhi, we're in South Delhi. I was in North Delhi earlier. So I've come down to South Delhi. I'm on my way home now, and I just popped in. But it's a great little museum. It's nice. As I say, I thought it would be an amusing, smutty, smutty's not the right word, but I thought there'd be an element of oh ha ha, isn't this odd, to it. And because of the overriding social aspect to it, to what this guy did, it kind of diminishes that, but in the best possible way, and you feel really good about it, and you think, and it's free to come in as well. They just let me just wander in and just bimble about, doing as I please, and offer me a coffee, because I think there's not many other people. There was one chap here when I got here, and he left. But if you're in town, have a look about, because let's face it, it's a good way to get some steps in. Don't just use it for that. I'm trying to not sound like I'm trying to diminish it here, which I'm really not. But so this one here has got like a privacy element to it. There's like a... Just minding I don't fall down one of these pits. It's just a very simple design with a little curtain across to give someone a bit of privacy. I remember when I was a kid, I went to the seaside for the day with my granddad to Margate, and actually I had two toilet incidents with my granddad at Margate. I'm sure it's alright to tell him. One day he took me to the train station on the way home, and I said, I need to go to the toilet. I was only a kid, so I need to go to the toilet. And he said, alright then, we'll go into this. So we went to the train station and we went into the toilet, and while he was washing his hands, I was about 7, I saw this cubicle in a train station toilet. You can imagine how horrible it was. I saw this cubicle and I was just bimbling around while he was washing his hands, and oh god, halfway up the wall in this cubicle was a hole in the wall. So I decided to just have a look through it, which I've got a terrible history of doing. I've burnt my eye here just the other day, not in a toilet cubicle. I was looking for a pumpkin, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I saw this hole in the cubicle and I went up and sort of stuck my eye to it, and there was a man in there sitting on the toilet, and he was like, you know, your traditional bearded vagrant, like an old tramp sat on this toilet. So I went up and just stuck my eye to him and went like, hello, and this man went, go away. So I thought, oh, I better say something to him, you know, jolly him up a bit. So I said, what's your favourite TV show? Like that. And he told me to, you know, sling your hook. So I put my finger through the hole and went, and with that he grabbed my finger, and I screamed, like, "Ah!" Screamed out, and my granddad sort of went, oh, what's going on over there? And I said, this man's grabbed me. And obviously, as a parent or a grandmother, the last thing you want to do in a public toilet is a man's just grabbed me. And then when he sat around and looked, I saw that I had my finger through a hole. Obviously, I got a tremendous bollocking off of him for bothering people in toilets. So if you're out and about and you go to a public toilet and you see a hole in a wall, don't put your eye or anything up to it. Anything, just leave it alone. You know, I remember a friend of mine very excited when I lived in Sutton, and he went to Morrison's supermarket, which I think's closed down now, and he was ever so excited because someone had drilled a hole in the toilet cubicle wall, and he couldn't wait to tell me. He came rushing back. He's like, oh, guess what, love? He had a very unusual voice, this boy. Guess what, love? Someone's drilled a hole in the wall. Oh. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, lovely. And he couldn't help point out how professionally done it was. He said they've really smoothed off the edge. I thought, oh, Jesus Christ. So why he'd done that, why he was bothering to tell. But the other thing my granddad did in a toilet was, we again in Margate. We went to Margate again for the day, and we went to the toilet on the seafront. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, but we went to the toilet on the seafront, and he said to me, he said, oh, this is an interesting thing, Daniel. He said, I came here about 15 years ago, or maybe even more, with all my friends on a day out, and well, he said, I had a bit too much to drink, and well, I actually accidentally shit myself. I was like, oh dear God. And again, I'd have been about 8 when he told me this story. But he said, I crapped myself because I'd had too much to drink. And what a disgraceful event. Anyway, and he wasn't like that. He was a nice man. He said, but I came into this toilet here to clean myself up. He said, no. And as an 8-year-old, when an adult tells you something, you don't go like, oh, do you? You go like, oh, really? This is a very fascinating tale. And he said, yeah, I messed myself in it. He said, I cleaned myself on it. And I said, oh, what did you do with your pants, Grandad? Did you flush them down the lavvy? And he said, no, I couldn't have flushed them down the lavvy. No. I stuffed them behind the cistern in that toilet up there. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah. And then he said, with a sort of an air of wonder, he went, oh, I wonder if they're still there. And again, as a kid, you just go along with it, don't you? So I said, oh, maybe we should look, Grandad. So he went up, oh, I don't know, I'll have a look, shall we? And he went in and he put his hand, and he was going like, having a look about, and suddenly this look, he went, and he had this look of wonder about him, like, I don't believe it. And he pulled out this pair of old, encrusted pants. And, oh God, I think he threw them in the bin. He said, well, it shows how often they do the cleaning. And he sort of put it on them then. He said, it shows how often they clean this place up. It's disgraceful. And I said, should we go back and tell Nan? And he said, no, she's never interested in anything I do. And so we just never bothered telling her. But so there's a cautionary tale for you as well. If you're going out on a hot day, having a few too many to drink, you might well end up soiling yourself in a toilet in Margate. So don't. Actually, I went to that toilet again a few years ago, and it still smelt like his pants were still there. This is awful. I'm so sorry. I brought you here to give you a lovely educational tale and not telling you about the time my granddad behaved appallingly in a toilet in Margate. So as I say, back on track. This is the Toilet Museum. The staff here, or the lady that runs it, the curator, Niraj, is absolutely lovely. They deserve better than me coming here and telling my foul tales. But I hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you're looking forward to the week ahead of you. And if you're not, I hope you're able to bear it. You can do it. You can do it. You can get through it. So until next time, as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for walking with me. I'll see you next week. Where are we going next week? I'm going somewhere else next week. We're going to some other field trip next week. I can't remember which one it is now. Maybe the train museum, actually. Maybe we'll do the train museum next week. That's quite nice. There'll be less disgusting stories to tell you there. Just a nice train museum trip. Or maybe another walk. Who knows? But as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, walk tall.